Is going on? Just wanted to make sure that we were live. We are live. This is the conversation that I had earlier today. I'm just going to get right to it. I'm not going to introduce myself, even though I am Charles Botensten, and you guys have already been listening, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to my typical spot, which is chopped salad, and back in my routine. So let me just talk about the routine for a second. So the first thing is I had obviously Easter over the weekend. And when I'm at my parents' place, obviously I don't have the routine of waking up early and eating correctly and doing what I normally do because I'm pretty much at the whim of what they have food-wise. And I don't have my bike on Long Island, so it's a little bit more challenging. However, that's not an excuse. Obviously, when I'm traveling in the future and I'm speaking and I'm doing business on the road, I'm going to need to seek out gyms and food and Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and all that other jazz. So it's not an excuse. However, I'm back in the routine. It feels good. Going to chopped salad. Today is Tuesday. And this morning, I was particularly not happy with training, okay? So I woke up at like 3:50 a.m. and I felt amazing. And then I said, let me just try and get like another 40 minutes of sleep. Terrible idea. Woke up in deep sleep and was pissed off and snoozed my alarm at 4:30 to 4:40, got to the gym. And I was listening to a podcast, and it's triathlon podcast, and the guy is an amateur athlete, and he was talking about that he is actually, there's four things when it comes to training, and actually this is just with life or anything you want to do, which is you're probably not going to like it if a lot of people are not doing it. Okay, or if they're doing it and they're not doing it at a high level, then you're definitely not going to like it. Okay, that's with anything. Okay, my buddy just wrote a piece on dating and just the nuances of dating now that you have obviously dating apps and then you have a lot of guys on there and there's a choice and then you have this mentality that something is always better on the other side of the grass and blah blah blah. So at chopped salad, and I was thinking about it this morning, which is I'm really not enjoying running right now. So I got there, I did 45 minutes on the bike, 45-minute class, and I had to do a 40-minute run. Okay, that's a lot of training. Okay, when I was on the run, I was literally drenched in sweat. Even my shorts were sweating. Okay, and I was sitting there and I just wasn't in a good mood. And I just thought about it. I said, can I see myself doing this for an extended period of time? Or, it wasn't about quitting. It was like, what about the time management and things like that? Like what we're reconnected. The internet right now but obstacles make me stronger is one of the sayings. So this is the thing. When you actually actively seek out a challenge, you're going to go through the mindset that I went through this morning is, why the fuck am I doing this? Okay, there is no accolade. I'm not making any money. In fact, I'm actually spending a ton of money. I'm spending way too much money. I just spent another $1,000 on nutrition. And what else did I buy yesterday? I bought a bunch of things because I had to for this race, okay? It's expensive. This is the guy I ran into at Chopped Salad. So I walk in, he's got a Brooks hat on. So Brooks, if you don't know, is a running company. It's kind of like a little known running company, but it's been around for a while. Then he had a shirt that said running. He had a beard, a full beard, and he wasn't wearing any clothes that would indicate that he was actually going to work. So I walked up to him and I was like, you have the ultra marathon kind of look right now. And he laughed and he giggled and everything else. He didn't giggle, he laughed. And he said, actually, I am. I said, holy shit, wow. That's incredible. Was it from David Goggins? No, but we talked about it. This is what he said. And I completely agreed. I said, why did you do it? He said, my wife is doing it. I said, okay, that's awesome. But why are you doing it? It's not because your wife is doing it. There's a lot of things that spouses are doing, but their partner is not going to do it just because their partner is doing it or their spouse is doing it. And this is what he said. He said, as the world, and I've been thinking about this for a while, he said, so he was at a job that he was doing very well. Then he went into physical therapy. And then he said, okay, with physical therapy, I actually have to prove that I'm actually good at what I do. So I have to have my muscles long and soft. In other words, pliability, as Tom Brady has talked about, pliability, everything. And he brought up you have a tree that is dry and old, okay? In stiff wind, it's going to crack and break and it's brittle, okay? What about a young tree? It moves with the wind, okay? When you move with the wind, what does that mean? It's well hydrated, you are stretching out, you have good pliability, and obviously there's a lot more to that, like nutrition and sleep and how you work out and things like that. But there's been a massive amount of my friends that have gotten hurt recently because I was at the class this morning. I was drenched in sweat. The guy to my right wasn't even sweating. I'm thinking, that guy's dehydrated, severely dehydrated. If he doesn't have an ounce of sweat on him, that means he's and he already was complaining about that his back hurt and his whatever the hell that is, that there's a big muscle. But the guy said he quit his job, he went into PT, then he started obviously training for Ironmans. And he said this, which I completely agreed. He said, as the world becomes easier, you're gonna have to seek out discomfort. And I thought about it, I said, you're gonna have to seek out challenges, okay? You're gonna have to actively seek something out that makes you uncomfortable. And I was talking about this at lunch and yesterday, which is I actually get physical pain, physical anxiety. And then I just read it in Ryan Serhant's book. Thank you to Erwin. So it's the Sell It Like Serhant. There you go. I don't know, whichever way is up. But in there, he says he actually gets anxiety if he is not pushing himself. So I'm not the only one. Ryan Serhant does it. This other guy that I was talking to this morning, same thing. If you are uncomfortable, if you are too comfortable, you will get either physical pain, you'll start thinking of really bad things, like why am I at my job, why am I in this relationship, whatever the case is. We have to proactively reach out and push ourselves. We actually have to do that because the world is not doing it. Our managers are not doing it. So society is not doing that. School is not doing that. The military is not doing that. Our parents are not doing that. They're not doing that. We have to do that. Do you understand how hard that is? But the thing is, a lot of people don't even understand that, so they're not even considering it as a possibility to potentially maybe run a half marathon, or maybe start approaching pretty girls if they're single instead of going on dating apps, or maybe prospecting, as Ryan Serhant talks about here. And he goes, every single day I reach out to at least 3 to 4 clients. Okay, that's what he does. For me, I do for sell by owners. It's not easy. I had a guy this morning, said, don't ever call again. I'm listing with someone else. And he hung up the phone. That's not easy to go through. Then I had another guy that said, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. I've been trying to work this guy for 3 months. 3 months, almost every single day. And he still will not list with me. It is not easy. However, I can tell you right now, there is a spark. There's an aura, there's an energy that people feel when I'm on that I had today that I can't give it to you. I can't do anything but actually tell you that there is a lightness to your walk, a lightness to your breath. There is a conversation that you have with yourself that is a little above anything that you've ever had with yourself, which is, okay, maybe I'm on the right path. This feels good. This, though I had someone hang up on me and someone that won't do business with me, this is the right path, okay? What is your challenge? I don't know. I have no idea. It's got to be something physical. Number one is that you physically, because why is it physical? Physical is harder than anything. Physical is that your body's telling you to stop, your mind is telling you to stop. Everything is in concert saying, I don't want to go further, or I want to stop right now. So the first challenge is you have to do something a little bit physical outside of your comfort zone. Your mind goes with the physical. And ironically enough is that the mind tries to convince your body not to do it. This morning, my body was saying, I want to go work out. My mind was saying no. So what did I listen to? I listened to neither, and I just went with the protocol. I went with me knowing I would regret not going to the gym. So for you guys and myself, and this is always a reminder, I'm talking to myself, I'm just literally talking to myself. But this is also a reminder that if I don't actively seek out challenges, I feel dead inside. I feel like shit. I get physical anxiety. I actually feel pain. It like wraps around my chest. And I was talking about it with someone yesterday and she's like, yeah, I get that too. I'm like, I'm not alone. She's like, no. And then my mom was talking about someone that had panic attacks. I'm like, holy shit. So in the next 50 to 100 years, the number one thing, you just said it, the mind, the number one thing that we're gonna have to cure is purpose, is meaningful purpose to our lives. Why are we here? What is the meaning? What is the meaning? Okay, first of all, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. There is no meaning. Okay, that's the problem. Because it's from there you can either create the meaning, or you can go with nihilism, or you could say, you know what, I have to go inside, okay? And I have to challenge myself mentally, meditation, or physically outside, or mentally at work, whatever the case is. We have to actively seek out challenges. That is the only path forward. And it's 1% every single day. It is not a massive, I'm gonna make 60 calls today, or I'm gonna bench press 3 plates on either side. No, it is small and incremental. Just have a bottom line, 1 call, or just go to the gym. You don't even have to go in. As the creator, Scott Adams of Dilbert, said, he sometimes doesn't even go to the gym, or I'm sorry, he doesn't actually go inside the gym. He goes up, he goes inside, and then he walks out. He doesn't even work out, but he wants to at least go to the gym so he can say, I go there every single day. That's